Hi everyone, this video is going to be a review for M Cosmetics' newest released collection, which is called the Magic Hour collection. It is limited edition, and if you aren't familiar, M Cosmetics is Michelle Phan's makeup line, Michelle Phan being one of the original OG YouTube beauty gurus. And she has also recently returned back to YouTube, which is really nice. She's definitely someone that I quote unquote grew up with watching when YouTube kind of first started. And she has rebranded the company. So the feel and the packaging of the brand is very different from when it originally launched with L'Oreal. So in this video, we'll concentrate on the 3 items in the collection. I, of course, will swatch them for you. I'll also apply them, make a look with the items, and give you my first impressions on the quality. If you aren't already subscribed, make sure you hit that red subscribe button. Follow Allura Beauty on Instagram, and of course, if you haven't seen the latest video, there's actually 2 of them. They are both for new launches from Maybelline. So the older of the 2 videos is for swatches and application of Maybelline's new Cheek Heat Gel / Cream blushes. And the most recent one is for Maybelline's newly released, it's probably not widely available yet, but soon to be released, Dream Radiant Foundation. So I apply that and of course review it and tell you if I think that it's worth going out and grabbing it. So I will link that in the upper right hand corner for you to view if you haven't already seen it and you're curious. All right, let's get swatching and looking at M Cosmetics' new Magic Hour collection. So the collection is eye, cheek, and lip shades dedicated to the most ethereal time of day. And as I stated, these are limited edition. If I look on the M Cosmetics website right now, the Divine Skies palette, that eyeshadow palette, is currently out of stock. I expect that they will restock it. And as you can also see, the packaging comes in this kind of light nude packaging. Let's go ahead and start with the Heaven's Glow. It retails for $34. This is a Radiant Veil blush. Inspired by the Magic Hour, this peachy pink powder imparts radiance and luminosity for multi-dimensional and seamless color. Formulated with an innovative blend of pearly pigments, this dedicated blush layers beautifully for a soft, diffused glow. It has a baked powder formula, and the formula is supposed to give you luminosity and radiance without heavy shimmer or glitter. The product is also vegan and cruelty-free and gluten-free. So first up, the packaging, like I said, it is this nude color. It's pretty bulky in terms of size, and you have the M Cosmetics logo on the front or the top there. It opens just with a magnetic closure. The inside pan is slightly domed, and you do get a mirror deep in the recess there. Because of the slight dome, I can see why maybe they need a little extra room, but this is probably twice the room that's needed, so I'm not quite sure why the design is that way. But on the other hand, it is still very lightweight. So here is what the shade looks like. It is in the shade Magic Hour. So I think I'm going to start using this brush for blush swatches. I'm kind of retiring a lot of the brushes that you've seen in my videos that I've used literally for years because they're getting old and kind of, ratty. This is an e.l.f. blending brush, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this product. So Magic Hour is described as a warm peachy pink with soft gold pearl. It's pretty sheer on first layer here. It does say it's buildable, so let's go ahead and see how it builds. Here's layer number 2. It is a very soft peach, and you may not be able to tell yet on the camera, but it does impart a beautiful, beautiful luminosity to the skin without any detectable shimmer here. I'm gonna keep building it up. You know what's interesting? I was getting ready to switch out a brush and swatch this with a different brush to see if there's more pigmentation, and I feel like the powder became deeper and more pigmented as it sat on the skin. I don't know if you can tell. For comparison's sake, we'll take the e.l.f. angled blush brush, which is what I've typically used in videos. Gonna swatch it right next to there. Yeah, I think it's just a very sheer color. layer 2. But I do have to say, it looks beautiful on the skin. I know you probably are reacting by saying, I can't see anything on the screen, but I can definitely see it with the naked eye. Now, of course, may not be really right for anyone who has anything deeper than light or light medium skin, unfortunately. But you actually may be able to use it as a highlighter in the alternative. And let's go ahead and do finger swatch. I will also say it is incredibly silky smooth. All right, here are the swatches, and I kind of want to modify what my comment was before. This is supposed to be a very soft, as they describe it, a delicate blush. So it's not supposed to be super pigmented, and it has an absolutely beautiful silky formula. Sorry if my skin is a little goosebumpy, it's just very cold right now in this room. All right, next up is the Divine Skies eyeshadow palette. It retails for $38. Inspired by the golden glow of Magic Hour, an elegant range of harmonious shades of warm browns and peachy pinks with matte to shimmery finishes, formulated with velvety pigments to mix, layer, and blend seamlessly for beautiful and lasting color payoff. This palette will be your new modern essential. This product, it says, is gluten-free and cruelty-free. Here is the eyeshadow palette packaging. I really like how the logo has been embossed on the palette itself, and it's actually smaller than the blush compact, not around, but in terms of thickness and size. Also pretty lightweight, but actually heavier than the blush palette. Here's the top of the packaging. This one closes with a snap closure, and you get your 6 shades here in kind of pizza slices. You do get a full-sized mirror inside, and here are the shades in the Divine Skies palette. In terms of swatching, I'll swatch from this top shade and go around clockwise. So for the eyeshadows, I'm going to use an Eve Pearl brush. This is the 103. I'm going to start with this top shade, which is Heavenly. This is described as a white gold shimmer. Next shade is Magic Hour. It's described as a duochrome nectar shimmer. It's kind of like a coral with a gold duochrome. I think this next shade is Phoenix. It's not really clear on the website what shades are which. They're not listed in order. Phoenix is a warm clay matte shade. Next up is Radiant, described as a bleached copper shimmer. Next up is Terra. And this is a milk chocolate matte. And Sunset, which is a soft peach matte. All right, there are your 6 shades in the eyeshadow palette. I am pretty impressed. Now, the Eve Pearl brush, this one is much bigger than a typical packing eyeshadow brush. So you could see there was a little bit of difficulty getting it into the pan, but even then, you can tell by even the swatches that these apply really smoothly and with very nice color. They all have good pigmentation. Those metallic or shimmering shades are very, very reflective. And the mattes are nice and silky. And last up is the lip cushion, which retails for $22. This is a tinted lip luminizer. Universally flattering, this peachy nude shade luminizes your lips with a sheer touch of color. Formulated with a nourishing blend of hyaluronic acid and vitamin E, this ultra-comfortable balm melts on contact for a buttery and lip-hugging texture. The product is also cruelty-free and gluten-free. So here is the tube packaging. You get a pop-off lid, and then there is a dial on the bottom where you twist up the product out of the tube. And this is the shade Magic Hour. And it's described as a sheer peachy nude, although I don't know that I would really describe this as being that sheer. I also don't know that I would really describe it as peachy. It's a pretty mauve-y kind of shade, and it has a very glossy finish. Let's see how it looks applied to the lips. So as you can see, this being applied, it does sheer out a bit on the lips, but at the same time, it definitely has good color to it. The balm itself feels absolutely wonderful on the lips, super nourishing while still being super lightweight, not goopy or thick at all, but absolutely hydrating. The color is beautiful and universal. I can see it working on so many different skin tones. In terms of the eyeshadow palette, again, wonderful colors. You can see that at first I was kind of surprised by the matte shade. It was a lot more pigmented than I was expecting, so I kind of had to buff it out. The metallic shade went on very nicely. Also, just well-formulated eyeshadows. My criticism of the palette is kind of twofold. One is more minor, just the shape of the pans will eventually kind of make it inconvenient to use just a little bit. And also, I do kind of wish that there were maybe a lighter matte shade to be able to buff and blend with. But since there are only 6 shades, that may be a little difficult to do. But you have 2 kind of peachy shades in there, one lighter, one darker, which I feel like is a little bit redundant. But overall, the formula, I have nothing really bad to say about. So if you like the color story, this is a quality eyeshadow palette. With the luminizing blush, you can tell in this video footage that it's definitely sheer but buildable. It is a beautifully luminizing blush, and it actually has a slight hint of a duochrome feel to it. There's a more bronzer color and then a more peachy pink sheen. It's absolutely noticeable on my skin, which is usually an NC 20 to 25. So I wouldn't worry about it not showing up if you are my skin color or a shade or 2 deeper, or of course lighter. And if you are of a deeper skin color, then I do think that this would work as a luminizer, a subtle luminizer, not quite a highlighter, but definitely a beautifully formulated, silky, smooth luminizer. So overall, I like the quality of the products in this collection. This is my first time using anything from the revamped M Cosmetics brand, and it was a good experience. So please let me know what you think in the comment section below. I hope that this video was helpful to you if you have been thinking about buying anything from the brand recently, or you, like me, have not really had any sort of experience with the brand since it originally launched many years ago. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in the next video.